Hey, buddy, what's happening? This is Pauly Shore, and welcome to Shock. So, everybody made sure we're here at the
American Society of Astrologers and Psychics, ASAP, presents Psychic Rewards.
Klondike Original Bar, rich, creamy ice cream with a chocolatey coating. What would you do for a Klondike?
Who are you?
Little Red Riding Crotch.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this. I'm sorry, where's the wolf when you need him?
Back again for another video. So I was thinking about something I said on one of my previous videos in regards to men being more concerned about the liability of a woman than the asset of a woman. I think I am going to talk about the asset of a woman over the liability of a woman on this one, because on the last video I pretty much was looking at the glass half full from that aspect. That's what I was speaking from. Now I want to look at the glasses, I was looking at the glass half empty, but now I want to look from the perspective of looking at the glass half full. So on this video, I'll be talking about, like I said, the asset of a woman, what she brings to the table. I will be using some of the talking points from the other video so that I can make a contrast in what I mean by assets versus the liability of a woman. So bear with me. So the asset of a woman, of course, is very different than the liability of a woman. What do we think about when we think about liabilities? Is anything that you can be held accountable for that is going to be a debt that you owe, whether it be emotionally, spiritually, mentally, physically, economically, whatever, intellectually, any of those things. You are in debt. You're taking on something that is a risk. Something that can set you back, whether it be any of those genres or categories that I just mentioned. But the asset of a woman, when a man gets done figuring out exactly what the liability of a woman is, and he starts to consider what the asset of a woman is, women seem to think that it is them being able to cook and clean, them being able to have children, them being able to bring money, them having degrees. And I understand what they mean by this, but I'm here to differentiate what men see versus what women see. So we know, largely men, we know what women see, as far as when they say these things. But of course, this is not what we're looking for. I'm here to articulate what the asset of a woman should be. So yes, those things can be very, very important. Having children, and, having a degree, having a woman who cooks and clean, who does all these things, all that stuff is all fine and dandy. But those can sometimes be not considered assets. They can be just things, and that goes to the whole notion of that's floating around the manosphere. If you have all this money, what can I do with it? What does your money have to do with me? Simply what this means is, and this goes for just about anything. You can have children, so what does that have to do with me? I mean, you go to church, so what does that have to do with me? You do all these things. You can cook and clean, but what does that have to do with me? The reason why a man says this is because he's wondering what the asset is. And the asset is very simple. And it's so simple. If it was a snake standing next to you, it would have bit you, right? So it's very simple to the point where I don't think there needs to be any conversation about this, to be honest with you. I mean, there can be, but I don't think there will be. Simply, the asset of a woman is her submission. And people will say, "Oh yeah, we know this," "Oh yeah, I don't had submission that where no, okay, let me articulate that a little better for you. I'm not going to use the word submission, okay? I'll use something else. So let's go with a woman's ability to a woman's ability to give over authority over whatever it is she has to offer to that man. That's the important part. Your degrees don't mean shit to me if I cannot utilize them in the way that I want to. Your ability to clean doesn't mean anything to me if I cannot utilize them in the way that I see fit. Your ability to have children does not mean anything to me if I cannot dictate how those children will be raised and when they will come, and having the majority of say so in these things. These are the things that matters to men. So yeah, your degree, your money, everything, it has value. No lie, it does. But it means nothing to a man who cannot have authority over it. That's the key. That's literally the key. Like I said, I don't think there's too much conversation to be had about this. I know I say these are going to be short videos, and I say they're going to be short because the thought is really simple, but the articulation of it is really simple. But sometimes, I get into the ramble and I wanted to discuss it a little bit more. And I get lost in the sauce, and here we go with 25-minute video. So we'll see what happens. But I can't make any promises of how long this video is going to be. But anyway, a man doesn't care about anything that he doesn't have the ability to have the authority over, period. I don't know any man who does. I don't know any, really look, if you were a woman looking at a man, look at the way he is. He exists. He exists as a being who seeks to be in control of things, to have authority over things. You do as well. As a woman, you do as well. But the thing is, you want something from him and he wants something from you. Where you meet in the middle is that you can get the leadership, you can get the provision, you can get the protection, you can get everything. But it only covers the amount of stuff that you're willing to give over authority for. I don't think people understand this. Literally, I was having a conversation with my submissive again, as usual, because I'm always teaching something, right? And she gets the bulk of the information for the most part. A lot of the stuff doesn't even make it to YouTube. She's like, "Why don't you ever record this stuff?" I was like, "Because that's just the way I am. Stream of consciousness, right? But anyway, I was telling her, like, look, this is how the ultimate goal of a woman is to, this is my opinion, the ultimate goal of a woman is to exist in the best way possible while having the least amount of accountability. And I don't mean that in the way that you may think. I'm not saying that a woman should not be accountable for her existence, but what I'm saying is that a woman should always strive to give her accountability away. And when you think about it, so on the dynamics that I've laid out, you can't have power without authority. If you do, you can't have power and authority without responsibility and accountability. If you don't balance those things out, you'll run into dysfunctional situations. So if you are to have power and authority, and what comes with it is responsibility and accountability, think about what happens when you give the responsibility away and you give the accountability to someone else. That means that you're giving the power and the authority to someone else. So that means that you are giving away the right to be accountable for things that you don't have the power over, right? This is simply how it works. So women should strive to give away their power and authority, because women don't like accountability anyway. So if you don't like accountability, how about you give away that power and authority? The thing about women is that they try to accomplish something without paying the proper price for it. They try to accomplish not being accountable while having all the say. You can't do that. You can't. You're literally breaking the system. And what I mean by breaking the system is that this is the structure that you should follow, and when you're outside of that, it causes a major disruption to the system of your life, which could collapse it. When you are going against the system because of your biological drive to or your social drive, I don't know which one it is, it can be from both, but whichever drive that it comes from, for you to avoid accountability, then you should rightfully so find someone who you can give your authority away to. If you're so hell-bent on trying to avoid being accountable for stuff, then you need to look to give away your authority. That's what I mean by a woman should strive to give away her accountability, because in doing so, she's giving away her authority. This is where I think women naturally rest at, right? But anyways, when it comes to how I see a woman existing, everything that you are, once again, is meant for men, right? And children. And when you try to piece these things for yourself, it then creates another set of dysfunctions. That pride, that sense of entitlement. There's nothing wrong with definitely taking some time to yourself and definitely investing in yourself. That's not what I'm saying. But when you try to take everything for yourself, meaning that everything that you do, everything that you are is only motivated by self-interest, you're going to destroy yourself. Period. You're going to destroy yourself, and you're going to destroy everyone else around them. This is literally what the black community is. Literally, the entire black community is based in self-absorbency and hedonistic tendencies, right? If you really pay attention. But anyway, I don't want to go down that vein. The point of this video is simply to point out that, yes, men do value the things that women have to offer, no matter what it is, as long as it's not a liability. If it is an asset, even if you believe it to be an asset, there's some man out there looking for that same asset. So I don't want the conversation, and I know many people do not listen to these videos. What I perceive happening is that while I'm putting this stuff out, while the knowledge is relevant, not many people are going to listen to it, but it's going to eventually reach a status that is heard very far and wide, because all these videos are the truth. But I'm hoping by that time it's not too late for people to hear what it is they need to hear in order to correct their lives and get them back on the right path. But yes, men, we care about these. Yes, women, we care about these things that you consider to be an asset. But what we care more about is what level of authority do we have over those things that you think are assets. That's the key to this. We don't care about your degrees. We really don't. We don't care about your degrees. We don't care about your money. We don't care about what you can and do. We don't care about what you have done. We don't care about what you're going to accomplish, what you have accomplished. We don't care about any of that stuff if it falls outside of the umbrella of our authority. Period. This is the truth. So all this talk, all this blah, blah, blah about what do you bring to the table, and a woman thinks so highly of what she has to offer, but can you articulate that into such a way that a man will have a large piece of authority over that same very thing that you think is so important that you bring to the table? If you say to yourself as a woman, hey, this is what I bring to the table. Let's say, for example, this is what I bring to the table. I can manage the money. I can bring in the money. I can also, clean very well. And I can give you children. Out of those things that you say that you have to offer, say to yourself, do I have an issue with giving a man a complete authority over those things? If you find yourself on the side of believing that you cannot give a man complete authority over any of those things that you have listed that you believe are assets to a man, they don't matter to us. They don't matter to men. They don't matter to men. Period. That's simply the truth. Like I said, I don't think this is something to argue about. This isn't something that needs a huge dialogue about. I mean, we're turning these things, these very simple things, into these long drawn out conversations, and I'm just like listening, like, I need to do a video, you know what I'm saying? I need to, make this known that you as a woman, the only thing that matters to a man is what he has authority over. He don't care about any of that other stuff that you mentioned that he has no authority over. Literally, if it does not fall under the umbrella of his leadership and guidance, it does not matter to him. He doesn't care about what you bring to the table in the way of things that fall outside of that umbrella of his leadership. Doesn't care. But anyways, like, comment, and share. Check me out on Facebook. Check me out on the good Patreon. But until next time, this has been the Wolf and Beta Close. May you have a good day. And peace be with you.